Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz, my company is Hello From Liz Mathews, and I don't know about you, but today feels like a really good day to go over my 9 new releases coming to Needlework Marketplace happening in 6 days. What do you say? I've got quite the pile lined up in front of me. I've got some sparkling water. You might want to grab a notepad, a drink, because I have a feeling this is going to be a long video. Now, if you don't want to take notes and you want all of the information about these 9 new releases and all future releases from Hello From Liz Mathews sent directly to your inbox, follow the link in the description box of this video below and sign up for the newsletter. You will receive the latest, which includes all of the called for information for kitting any of these up that you might need. And it gives you pictures and details and kind of behind the scenes information about all of these designs. I am so happy to be doing this today. It is a little behind. As I mentioned, Needlework Marketplace happens in 6 days. It opens on Friday. I am filming this on Saturday the 16th, I believe is the number date. You know I'm not good with number dates, but better late than never. I hope there is something in this collection that you feel that you need to stitch or stash. Both are hobbies I enjoy very much and wholeheartedly acknowledge. So hopefully there is something here that you can contact your LNS, Local Needlework Shop, or ONS, Online Needlework Shop, to place an order for. Needlework Marketplace is a wholesale only virtual trade show, which means I have built a virtual booth on the internet and shop owners from across the world will be able to shop with me through that virtual booth, and I will ship the products to them and they will be very happy to forward on to you any Hello From Liz Mathews patterns you feel that you need, along with the kitted material, things to get a needle going on that. Just reach out to them, let them know you saw something they like, and they'll be happy to do that for you. They have received the newsletter. They should have all of my new releases in inventory. I don't know how shops manage special ordering. Wow, that is quite a job, but they will know at this point what my new releases are, and like I said, they'll be happy to help you. If you have any problems finding any of these designs, just reach out to me. I can point you in some good directions and some shops that I love to shop from myself. All of these patterns are currently available only as hard copy mailed physical chart packs. They will be available from me in a couple months as PDF charts, but for right now you have to go through your favorite shops to get your hands on these patterns. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? I don't think so. It's been a long time since I have done a new release video. Back in March for Nashville Needlework Market was the last time I had any new releases. As you know, things have been hectic and that hasn't allowed for a general release yet. So that's why I think I'm hitting you with 9 designs. Now, most of these will look familiar to you if you are either a Hello From Liz Mathews Patreon member, or if you attended the Jingle Ball 2024, but maybe you didn't grab them or snag them then or didn't have the opportunity because you're not a member. Now is the time, and I am so excited to move through the seasons with you through these 9 designs. I'm going to start with the most summery, the most floral, and then go to autumnal, and then we're gonna finish with Christmas. I am covering all my bases with this release and we are gonna dive in. Okay, let's start with Secret Garden. This has been very popular lately. I've seen several friends stitching this. It was originally released in the Hello From Liz Mathews Patreon membership. If you are curious how to become a member, that information, along with all information that I'm sharing with you today is going to be in the description box, like I said, including a link to get more information. Through the membership, I release a new pattern every month, and this came out last year, and it was very popular. I was so touched with the love that it received, and so many stitchers got going on this. So because there was so much demand, and I've seen this in so many floss tubes lately, I decided to go ahead and release it as a general release now at Needlework Marketplace. So if you've been wanting to add this to your collection, now is the time. Now I do have 2 different color palettes of thread included in the chart pack for this. This is what I'm calling the vibrant color palette, and then I also did a floss toss and selected threads for a more muted version. And if you look on Instagram or on floss tubes, you'll see stitchers doing both. The model picture for the cover sheet of this simply shows the vibrant version. It's my favorite personally, and I just think it shows so well. One thing to note are I'm so excited. I'm just like, there are tiny little stars stitched around this piece, and I chose to stitch them with Petite Treasure Braid metallic thread. Can you see that there? Here's an example. Here's some more. And I think that that metallic thread just adds the most beautiful, fancy touch to this, and I love how it turned out, especially with the vibrant color palette. This was deceptively large to stitch. When I charted it, I thought it was going to be much smaller, and then I got started stitching this and I was like, whoa, this is a little bit bigger than I envisioned, but it also made it perfect for this 10-inch hoop finish. Now I did a tutorial in the membership, and you can see it here. It is on making a dream catcher like finish in this wooden hoop. This is a collection of vintage lace that I affixed to the bottom, and I think it's pretty tall, as you can see. I think it makes such an interesting and beautiful finish, but I think it would be equally as beautiful finished in a square frame, having that like round margin left there. I think it will be so beautiful either way. I look forward to seeing it finished both ways, and I hope that you love this piece. Let me give you the details on Secret Garden. It is 171 stitches wide by 171 stitches high. Like I said, bigger than I thought, but I needed all that space to get all of that beautiful detailing in there. I used DMC thread for both the muted and the vibrant color palette because there are quite a few threads. I want to say maybe like 18 threads, so I kept it budget friendly with DMC. I also stitched this on 36 count linen, colored linen from Weeks Dye Works, and those, I believe, are all of the details, if it's coming back to me, that I meant to share with you for a new release video. This is what the cover sheet looks for if you find yourself in a local needlework shop and want to pick this up. This is what you will be looking for. So again, that is Secret Garden, long awaited. I'm just so happy to bring that to you and hope that you love it. I'm gonna put that aside. And from there, we're closing out the summer, spring floral stitching, although we all know that I bring florals into pretty much every design I do. I'm just a floral lover. But we are gonna move into Halloween. And that means I have a pattern duo for you called Ghosting to Town. Let me get set up here to show you both of the models. This is Ghosting to Town. We have a framed piece as well as a small pillow. They are the exact same patterns. The pillow is simply an excerpt of the 3 friendly ghosts headed to town with their boo balloons. And I will begin with this piece. Nearly monochromatic, we do have a mostly black stitched piece with some pops of orange that are in this diamond border in the boo balloons and in the top. There's also little stars scattered throughout for some visual interest that I think really makes this piece fascinating. I love how this turned out. I did stitch this piece myself, and one of my favorite details are those tiny little stars that scatter the background. They almost have like a wallpaper vibe to me. And I love that although these are ho-hum, down in the mouth ghosts, they're headed to town with a happy little message. So the town and the forest go up the sides on both the right and left side. And they're leaving the forest, going to town, is what I envisioned in my head. When this came out as part of the Hello From Liz Mathews membership, someone chose to stitch it on a lighter color fabric. I was going for dark and moody and like spooky vibes and all of that when I selected all the called for material for this, but then someone stitched theirs up on a lighter material, and I really loved how it changed the whole tone of this piece, and knew that I needed to stitch a smaller accompanying pillow to go with the original design in a lighter fabric. I just think it makes it a little more cheery, a little more friendly, I don't know. So I, as I said, just stitched the ghosts carrying their balloons for this little pillow, and I FFO'd it using black seed beads, trimming all four sides, and I think that I like this even more than I like the full piece, though I am terribly missing that diamond patterning on the bottom. But choose what you like, make it your own. I always love when people make my designs their own, and you can see I do it myself. So I don't know which one you will love more, but I think this little pillow is so charming. And that is Ghosting to Town. Let me give you the details on that. This is what you will be looking for in stores. It has both the pillow and the framed piece on there. The details on the framed piece, let's start with that. That is done on 36 count seaweed linen from Fox and Rabbit. I stitched that using needlepoint ink silk thread. There is, of course, always going to be, you know the phrase, a thoughtful DMC conversion listed on any pattern I do that does not call for DMC threads. The color palette's very limited. There's only 5 colors. You're going to need a lot of black. And the stitch count on the framed piece is 131 wide by 126 high. I don't have the stitch count off the top of my head because, in all honesty, I haven't done the final chart layout for this one. Like I said, we're feeling a little bit behind this season, but it is just simply the excerpt of the ghost with the balloons from the larger piece. Again, I stitched this in needlepoint ink silk thread. There's a special bonus that goes along with this piece, and I'm going to pop a picture of what I am talking about on the screen here. When I released this as part of the Patreon membership, I also did a bonus design, and I called it Autumn Town Band Sampler. It utilized a lot of the motifs, actually all of the motifs, in Ghosting to Town to create a more traditional band sampler like pattern that is more autumnal and less Halloweeny. And this pattern is not included in the chart pack, but you can find it currently and forevermore on the Hello From Liz Mathews membership. Do a quick search for Autumn Town Band Sampler and you will pull up the design and be able to stitch an additional version of this if you love it as much as I do. I always like to include bonuses for members, so be sure you join either the Pattern Stasher or All Access level to be able to access Autumn Town Band Sampler and add it to your chart pack. I think that's everything I had to say about Ghosting to Town. I'm going to put this aside and we are going to move on to another autumnal piece. I love this piece so much. It wasn't until I was just picking it up to put it on this table to show you just now that I realized it's not FFO'd. Because that's so me. I got the picture of it and I was like, done, out of mind. So guess what I'm going to be doing this afternoon? It's not alone. There are a couple just like this. Anyway, this piece is called House on Pumpkin Hill, and as you can see, it is another autumnal or Halloween themed piece. I love the color palette on this. I tried to go slightly unexpected. You don't always think of those teals and those blues as autumnal or Halloween stitching colors, but I really think they pair together so beautifully for really interesting contrast. I love the leaf border on this, and I am partial to the little witch silhouette that you see on one side of the house and her cauldron silhouette poking out from the other side. I do want to mention, if you are not a Halloween stitcher, it'd be very easy to omit the witch and the cauldron and just put in a couple more single stitch stars to make this a purely autumnal or fall piece. I love this. My intentions when I designed this was to do a series. By now, you likely know that I love a series. Like, why stop at one? If more are available, more is always better. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some additions to this, I guess I'm establishing it now, series in the future. I like how it's framed rectangularly, yet it is a round motif. Or a round pattern, I should say. I'm a big fan of this. I did find the perfect, although it was caked in dirt when I found it, frame that fits this piece beautifully. So it's a vintage, one of a kind, I don't know when and where it came from frame, but it works really, really well. House on Pumpkin Hill was stitched on 36 count antique lace linen by Seraphim fabric using 2 strands of DMC thread over 2 strands of linen. It is 101 stitches wide by 131 stitches high. I also forgot to mention, I've been adding in the total number of stitches for pieces like this. If you're curious, this one's 6,378 stitches. That hill is pretty solid fill-in. I don't know about you. I love a fill-in situation. I would get all those pumpkins outlined and just fill in mindlessly. Sounds great to me. And those are the details that I wanted to share with you for House on Pumpkin Hill. Here's one more peek at it because I just love it. Next up, I'm sneaking a little something special in for you. This is a pattern that you don't need to wait for. It is available right now, released just yesterday in the Hello From Liz Mathews membership. And while we are talking about autumnal and Halloween pieces, I wanted to share with you what came out. It is called Passing Through, brand new and available for automatic PDF download right now if you join as a Pattern Stasher or All Access member on my Patreon page. It's linked below if you're interested. I am so excited for this piece. I am about to send all of the supplies off to a model stitcher, and I cannot wait to get this piece back. I'm toying with how I'm going to finish it already, because while it would look awesome in a traditional frame, when I saw the shape of the stitching on this piece, I couldn't help but start thinking of doing an oversized pumpkin shaped outlined pillow. Can you envision it? See how this is like kind of pumpkin shaped? I think it would be so cute finished as a pumpkin pillow. And I just had to share that with you right now because I don't want you to miss it. I love it. Here are the threads and fabrics that I am sending to a model stitcher today. This is seaweed linen from Fox and Rabbit, and it is stitched in DMC threads, easy peasy. Like, you could download that, pull your threads if you have threads in stash, which I think we all do, and get started right away. This is another piece that would look lovely on a lighter color fabric too, but I am like into the dark and moody fall this year, so I just wanted to make sure you knew that that was out there and available passing through. More details about that are going to be in the membership. Designs come out on the 15th and they last until the 14th at midnight on the platform. So if you want that, be sure you get that before September 14th. Time is going so fast. I don't get it. Okay, now we are going back to Needlework Marketplace releases, and we are moving into the Christmas releases. I don't know about you. I am so ready for the cooler months. I am a fall girl through and through, but I also love Christmas. So these patterns are just making me so happy and ready for the new seasons to come. We are gonna start with Quaker Christmas Star, and it looks like this. At the Jingle Ball 2024, I taught a class on doing this decorative beaded trim in a star shape. That was my Jingle Ball class. And in addition to the class piece, which was a woodland scene in star shape, I also designed a more traditional Quaker pattern that's also in that star shape and utilizes that same decorative beading all around. You get a collection of traditional Quaker motifs and a Quaker bird. I think he might be my favorite. And a simple Christmas greeting right in the center. It says Merry Christmas. Here's the back if you're interested. This is a finishing pillow that I offer for sale during the Jingle Ball. I can bring those back if you guys are interested, but it covers up the seam from my pillow because I am a hot glue gun finisher. I'm a better, done is better than perfection finisher. So anything that hides an ugly seam, I will definitely be a fan of. But this is what the pattern looks like. The star is just beautiful and festive. It calls for a relatively small number of threads. DMC. The palette is 4 DMC colors. You might already have them on hand. And if you are not a green thread lover, you could easily switch this up to be whatever color palette you like. I am always a fan of blue. I was just going for like festive Christmas colors that also remain true to the antique Quaker nature. So this is Quaker Christmas Star. The stitch count on this is 140 stitches wide by 136 stitches high. There are 2,782 stitches in this piece. This looks like fun to stitch. I did not do this model, but I think you would have this great sense of accomplishment for every motif that you stitch, and I just love Quaker motifs. I don't know about you, but this will be available at Needlework Marketplace. Oh, I'm forgetting more details. This was stitched on 36 count linen, colored linen from Weeks Dye Works. That's one of my favorites. Almost white, very, very neutral and great for projects like these. I think I gave you everything else. There are details on the back on the info page about how to finish a star-shaped pillow. I need to maybe do a video in the future detailing that. We'll see, but it just is such a good look. Can't you imagine this in a little bowl? I love it. That is Quaker Christmas Star. Okay, moving on, we have a Hello From Liz Mathews tree. You know that over the past 5 years, since my business was born, I have been doing these oversized Christmas trees. I did a 12 Days of Christmas series, as well as several more, and that is what I am presenting you with here. This is called Santa's Night Tree. This was the class I taught at the very first Jingle Ball I was part of back in 2023, and it is finally a general release. I love, love, love this vibrant blue fabric. Isn't that so pretty? You have Santa sailing through the sky with his tiny reindeer and a quiet, snowy Christmas village below. I have stitched a homespun-like fabric that overlaps one corner, and you have a date, December 25th, patchwork style stitched into the corner. This piece is done with Weeks Dye Works thread, and it's stitched on 36 count sapphire fabric from Fiber on a Whim, one of my all-time favorite linens. Whenever I want to go colorful on my computer, I'll pop the design onto a blue fabric or like background as I'm designing, and it always just pops, and I always love it. Everything I've ever stitched on sapphire fabric is just beautiful. So I hope that you are glad to finally be able to get this. I love the cardinal on the top of that snowy tree, the quiet peacefulness of a snowy evening. Tree finishes are easy. You can do it. I know you can, and you have such a good payoff when you do a tree finish. The details on this, I gave you most of them actually. The stitch count is 151 wide by 151 high. There is a DMC conversion if you don't want to stitch with Weeks Dye Works thread, and there is a brief instruction section on finishing a tree. I love this tree so much, but one of my favorite parts is that homespun like overlap down there. Not only was it fun to stitch, but I just like the way it looks. So that is available for you to order from your LNS or ONS for Needlework Marketplace. Okay, cruising right along. Hello From Liz Mathews has done several trees, and I feel like I've become a bit known for them at this point, but I thought it was time to bring them miniature, bring them smaller. So I have a collection of 4 mini trees. This is called Festive Mini Trees, and in the chart pack you get the pattern for all 4 of these. They are finished slightly differently than my traditional trees. Can you see all those? And on my website, under the freebies tab, you should check that out because there's a lot of freebies there, but also included there is a link for you to download printable step-by-step instructions for how I finished my tree. Note to self, go add that to the website right now since word is out. But there's pictures and a tutorial walking you through how I finished these. You can see that there is a stick from a natural stick from a tree that makes the tree trunk. And there are 4 different options for stitching. One says ho ho ho. One is a simple bow tied around a tree. We've got boughs of holly or greenery. And then lastly, we have a strand of Christmas lights. So choose your favorite, stitch all of them. They also would make fantastic Christmas gifts. They are pretty quick to finish, and I feel like the payoff is really great. Let me show you the back of one of these. On the back, I simply used some DMC thread, tied a little bow, and made this hangable. And it's adorable. It's an easy finish. I always feel like if I can do it, you can absolutely do it. I would use a sewing machine. It will make life easier. But isn't that so sweet? You could also change up the color palette. If you are a non-traditional Christmas color decorator, it would be very simple to change these to like pinks or, you know, anything that you decorate with. You could easily swap out the DMCs that are used for this. Again, these trees are stitched on linen color linen from Weeks Dye Works. I stitched mine on 36 count. They are approximately, each one's a little bit different measurements. They are approximately 55 stitches wide by 50 high and approximately 3 inches wide by 3 inches tall. Like I said, easy to finish. Go to the website, get the instructions if you are a new finisher or just want to know how I did it. DMC threads, hangable ornaments, festive, fun, can be yours. Okay, let's keep going. We still have 3 designs to get through before we are done. Next up, we have a pattern duo called Merry and Bright. This is a set of 2 pillows that feature festive stars in traditional Christmas colors and a decorative beaded border going around. In addition to these 2 pillows that are included in the chart pack, there is a bonus freebie available. Your LNSs as well as my website have the pattern for the accompanying little 9-star pillow that goes with it. So purchase this, download this, and you will have a set of 3 festive pillows to fill your dough bowls or put anywhere that you do little Christmas pillows for the holiday season. These also are very quick stitches that would make really great holiday gifts. Just don't forget to get this to accompany these. One of my favorite features about the Merry and Bright pillow is that although they have different borders, you can see this is a full star border and this is a half star border. The stitch count for the word Merry or Bright are the same, which means you can switch them up and do Bright in the full star border or do Merry in the half star border, whatever you like. I think these are so fun, beautifully simple, merry, cheery, festive, and really, really great for the holiday season, especially when you consider that you can get a bonus pattern as well. These are all stitched on 40 count Albarium linen by Cedar River Linens. It's another one of my favorites. And they use DMC thread to stitch, less than 10 colors. What else do I want to mention here? The stitch count for Merry. So the full star border pillow is 105 wide by 68 high. And the stitch count for the half star border pillow is 91 stitches wide by 52 stitches high. I'm sorry, off the top of my head, I don't have the details on this, but you can find it again on my website, or your favorite LNSs all have access to download that and print it for you. So just be sure that you add that to your Merry and Bright chart pack. This is what you are looking for in stores if you would like to stitch, stash, gift Merry and Bright this year, and I hope that you enjoy it. Okay, 2 more. We have another case of not fully finished. Wow, Liz. So me. I am 0 surprised. Next up, we have Fa La La, La 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 La. It is called just Fa La La. I kept it short and easy, though I hope every time you see this, you start singing that wonderful Christmas carol in your head. Take a peek of this up close. It's a collection of 5 ornaments hanging with pretty ribbons and a colorful Christmas color palette. And the words fa la 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 la. There you go. Sorry. This piece is stitched on 36 count Not Another Sampler linen by Bee Stitch Me fabric. It is a beautiful linen color. It is 141 stitches wide by 75 stitches high, 2,358 stitches total in this. And this piece uses classic Colorworks cotton thread, and you know that there's a DMC conversion provided as well. I think that this would also be beautiful stitched monochromatically. You could do a really striking fabric color with one thread color and it would be really elegant and lovely. I also have always loved the thought of doing one single ornament as a pillow, just a vertical pillow. I think that would be simple and beautiful as well. But this is just a festive, fun, cheery little piece to get the song going in your head and to celebrate the holiday season. I think that's everything that I wanted to mention about this piece as well. I feel like that was really quick and easy, and I hope that you enjoy that. Okay, one more. Let's take a drink and get ready for the piece de la resistance. How do you say that? I guess I didn't get fluent in French by the time I was 40. That was a goal of mine, but that birthday has passed. I love this piece. This is a collaboration between me and my mom, Kathy Barrick, and I saved it for last because I just love it so much. My mom and I love to design together, and we have this method of one of us starting a design. It will be very rough and have lots of room for additions. We'll start it on our computer, email it to the other. That person will make some additions, and we'll go back and forth until it is polished and finished and perfect. And one thing I really love about this piece is I feel like you can see so much Kathy Barrick in here, as well as Hello From Liz Mathews. There are just really obvious touches from both of us, and it is such a beautiful piece. I'm not even going to tell you what each of us did. I think you can probably guess or figure that out on your own. But here's a close-up of Holly Wreath. It is so beautiful. I can't wait to hang this in my home this holiday season, which is pretty rare for me. I do hang antique samplers in my home, but it's pretty rare that I hang a self-designed piece. This one is absolutely going on the wall. A few of my favorite parts, although like every part of this I just love. The really, really pale blue house, guess whose touch that was? That was Kathy. And the oversized, disproportional cardinal sitting on top. I love the snowflakes that fall around the cardinal, the black ribbon at the bottom, I love it all, clearly. And it looks like this will be because I didn't model stitch this myself, this looks like it would be a doozy, but fun. And another instance where you have little moments of accomplishment. And the payoff is awesome. Can you see those snowflakes there? That blue house, the ribbon. I love this. I can't say enough how much I love this. And it was so fun to design this with Mom. If you are looking for it in store, this is the cover sheet. The details on this. Holly Wreath was stitched on 32 count wheat linen from Fiber on a Whim. It is stitched using 2 strands of needlepoint ink silk thread over 2 threads of linen. DMC lift is provided. Cross, straight, and back stitches are used. The stitch count is 161 stitches wide by 164 stitches high. And I don't even know what else to say about it because I've said it. I think I love this to death. Encompasses all of my thoughts. And that is how we are rounding out the collection of Hello From Liz Mathews patterns for Needlework Marketplace. I wonder how long I was chatting with you. I feel like it was a while. I always love visiting with you, and it's really fun when I have new pieces to put out into the world and to share with you. I hope that you found something that you really want to stitch, that made you smile, and that you add to your stash, because stashing is so much fun too. Okay, until next time, thank you for watching. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter if you would like all the details emailed directly to you. You can also drop the description box down below for everything, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.